Software engineering as a job is effectively applied linguistic integration, and understanding some amount of calculus is helpful for being able to stabilize which dimensions of integration you are actively sharing. A lot of this gets pretty abstract, but effectively consider the constant of language, the linguistic plane shared by any particular team, and consider the language game that can be described as novel or informative that people visiting or interacting with an application might care to navigate. As a software engineer, there are mathematical constructs that we can navigate, we can create, we are able, like permitted to create, that are related to what people have learned in school, which is an advantage of having some standardized curricula. Because if there are math games that people are comfortable navigating and we can describe those, and that's the structure of communication, then we can actually design applications that are fun to interact with. And this is the reason that I structured factshift.com the way that I did. Over years, I thought that it was going to be, well, originally, I thought factshift.com was going to be like a multi dimensional version of Wikipedia. Specifically, I thought that breaking each article down into effectively modalities and having each one tailored to a learning style. So each paragraph in an article tailored to like a visual, auditory, reading, or kinesthetic learning style. That was the initial idea, but I learned that the VARK model of learning isn't the most comprehensive model for learning. There are other nuances to consider beyond how a learner views their strengths and the context of which modalities are the most effective for representing a concept. So currently, March 16th, 2026, factshift.com is a metacognitive frame for wonder. And the code is on GitHub. The Netlify branch is the one that's currently deployed. That's a repository that I developed before AI was very, well, yeah, as ubiquitous as it is today. And the idea is it got to a point where I knew that I could update it and I understood why the design existed the way that it was. And I allowed time to pass. And revisiting it, I've been able to wonder about how it feels to navigate the code, how it feels to navigate the code with different agents, and how it relates to other projects that I've since developed. Like the actual query templating language that is useful for prompt engineering, Swoop, has a workbench, and that's more of a back end engineering space of wonder. So, with that, I spent an amount of time with ChatGPT doing research, trying to increment and maintain the mathematical and engineering rigor of my ecosystem. And basically, with the deep research capabilities rolling out, actually generating reports, at least sometimes, and sharing those with my Discord server, and over time, wondering about the syntax of this language. So, has, as all of the language models have developed, Grok, Gemini, ChatGPT, those are the main ones. Also, Claude. As these models have developed, I've reevaluated different aspects of the theoretical basis and used those to effectively charge the linguistic design of Swoop. There are things that I can continue to wonder about with this workbench, and installing it into a new project like factshift.com. I can wonder about what would make a consistent plane for grounded and expansive wonder across different conversational or communicative planes. As I've designed FactShift, this interface particularly, I have wondered about what it's like to communicate with my dog Boof, and it's been interesting. Can my dog interact with this interface? Maybe if I make it smellable? Not yet. So I am kind of curious about what I could do to move this project horizontally. The site has been down for a while, or it had been, and recently I connected it to GitHub pages. So I can describe that it is GitHub pages. Oh, actually, no. Um, at some point, it was GitHub pages. That was the original version. And then I moved to Netlify, and currently it's Netlify, which was just the easiest to set up. The easiest to reestablish, because I didn't want to think that much about hosting. I appreciate Netlify because they make a lot of hosting considerations easier. And they have some pretty generous free options currently. This is 2026, March. We'll see. Being able to tell a story about why you design the things that you do the way that you do is relevant if you work for somewhere that benefits from you caring about the things that you do. If you can describe why you're doing the things that you're doing, then the work that you do benefits because you can actually describe why you care. So, this was me exercising my ability to practice, considering the factshift.com core concept and how I can extend the metacognitive wonder about stability and design and what it means for engineering to continue to be a reason we explore. Cheers.